Gabriel. Gabriel is usually that
Gabriel.
man.
That's Gabriel's
And
rule. Thank
yeah,
you.
and once he can, and the trick about that is the moment Gabriel beats that defender, the ball is usually going
At the
so
back.
far back,
Yes.
the back of the post, where
Yes.
your initial defenders are
Yes.
concerned about that central area.
Yes.
Like Gabriel is the spare man, ball
Yeah.
goes far back to the post, and
Good.
he's there attacking the ball, scoring. And
Yeah.
we see that Gabriel has got most of these goals from
Stoke City were the masters in set piece. These guys hardly they play nothing. They come Tony Pulis, you say, one day I will be remembered for this, the importance of set pieces. From the halfway line, they have towels, they have powder.
Wow.
No joke. Powder, people powder their hand. You do some towel, clean your hand, bro. Powder it. Everybody talks. Every defender doesn't like to see them cramp the keeper. You see what they did to Onana?
Yeah.
It felt like there were like 5 or 6 people around Onana. Like he was in a cage. He could not.
Yes, like
yes.
Today we'll be giving you 3 reasons why Arsenal are the corner kings or set piece kings. Because the way they score goals from corners and set pieces is awesome and amazing. And I'm usually not an Arsenal supporter or supporting anything that has to do with Arsenal.
Anti-Arteta fans.
I mean, I don't really care about Arsenal and Arsenal fans. Come for
But
me.
we love Arteta and we want him to succeed.
You cannot deny them scoring corners is actually amazing. Like, it's actually good. And in this video, we'll be giving you 3 reasons and stay to the end of the 3rd reason. You guys don't miss out. Don't miss out on this. But how is Arsenal doing so far? What are you thinking about Arsenal? Before we dive into the reasons, what are your opinions on them so far this season?
I think currently in the league, there's no one that is as good as Arsenal in set piece. The whole world can agree, right?
Yes.
But one thing I would say is that they are not the first people to start this set piece stuff.
Really?
You remember? Yeah. You remember Stoke City?
Oh,
For those of us that have watched football in the longest time, Stoke City were the masters in set piece. These guys they play nothing. They come Tony Pulis, you say, one day I will be remembered for this, the importance of set pieces. From the halfway line, they have towels, they have powder. No joke. Powder, people powder their hand. You do some towel, clean your hand, bro. Powder it. Everybody talks. Every throwing was a corner for Stoke City. Every throwing. And their corners.
Way to look at the game. That's an interesting way to add it to your game. Because not everything has to be possessive. Sometimes just corners and you score. And that
look at Arsenal's last game against Man U. What did they play?
I feel like it was a pretty
Man U and Arsenal played the same thing, rubbish.
Yeah, pretty even game.
They had about 4 or 5 set pieces. 2 of them scored. 2 of them almost scored.
But that's what separated them, right? That's what made them win the game.
Just having a good set piece setup. But the 3 reasons, I think for me, you give yours, but I think the first reason for me has to be the strategy.
Let's dive into the first reason.
The strategy is just they are just, in terms of what Arsenal does, is unique to just them. Unique. I think the first thing they do, which the whole world sees in this their strategy, is chaos.
Exactly.
Analyzing their strategy now, guys, the first thing they do is chaos. You see them at the back post clumping up with each other, or at the center of the pitch. It feels like they are discussing, and the other team is just like, oh, what's happening? So they will set up behind you, basically, and you just see the other team looking at you. Now, the key thing is that the opposition, their focus is off the ball. Yes. Rather than look at Saka taking the free kick, you can even see from the images.
Yeah.
Or anybody, or Declan Rice taking the free kick. They just look at the Arsenal players that are together.
Exactly, because when you attack that back post, it's like, because they usually send that ball far back, and the trick with that is, if you send that ball far back, you can pass that ball back into the box, not that ball back into space, and somebody might attack the ball and score, which is exactly what happened in the last game against Manchester United, right? Where the ball went so far back and Partey nodded it, bounced off Saliba, and it entered into the post, and they scored.
So that takes us to the second point. the first thing they will do, they cause chaos, right?
Yes,
Uncertainty. Nobody knows what to do.
exactly.
Then they go on to the next thing. What's the next thing? They attack that space.
That
Now
space.
they clearly have a full-on plan for you,
Mm-hmm.
right? You just see them, they rush in, all of them run at the same time into those spaces that you leave. They've set up at the back, they've watched you, and
Yes,
they're running you see that they're running in between the players,
yes.
right? And you now see running between the players, but they do it at the same time the ball is coming into the box.
So you don't know who's going for the ball.
Yes.
You're
Now
so confused.
you don't know who is going for the ball. The next thing, what's the next thing they do after that? After they've attacked the space, it's not just about them even attacking the space now. There are two ways in which they do it. Basically, Arsenal has two types of corners.
Yeah,
They have the corners where the aim basically is to load the middle,
yeah. The
right?
overload the central
Yeah,
area.
overload the middle. It feels like you have 10,000 people in front of the keeper. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Blocking the keeper from moving. But how they do is that they first send two people to the front post.
Mm-hmm.
So for them to overload the area, they're attacking the space,
Yes.
right? You notice this one from when Saka is taking corners, most
Mm-hmm.
especially. They run into the space. As they are running, two people run forward.
Mm-hmm.
Those two people running forward is to draw people. So now obviously defenders are human beings, right? They are
Yes.
attracted by those two people that go to the obviously you'll be like, oh, are these people? Those people can be the ones to head the ball back into the
Yeah.
nets. Do you get so
Exactly.
you are just a bit scared and like it's still part of the chaos game, right?
Yes.
They drag people with them. Those two people drag a lot of people with them, forgetting about the middle. Now
Mm.
there's now much space in the middle in the sense that two people that went forward, their main duty is just to hit the ball a bit.
Yes.
They hit the ball a bit. The ball can even go in straight, but you notice that that ball gets to any of them,
It gets
right?
to, it gets to any of the players.
Yes, and those ones just flick it on, and somebody in that huge space where you find them nods it in.
That's
That's
it.
huge space, or the ball even goes in.
That's
Now,
it.
do you get what? Or they keep a spare man at the
Center at the center. Yeah. That
at
spare
the
man is usually Gabriel. Gabriel is usually that
Gabriel.
spare man.
That's Gabriel's
And
role. Thank you.
yeah,
You watch
and
that
once he
game.
come and the trick about that is the moment Gabriel beats that defender, the ball is usually going
At the
so
back.
far back to the
Yes.
back of the post where
Yes.
your initial defenders are
Yes.
concerned about that central area, right?
Yes.
Gabriel is the spare man, ball
Yeah.
goes far back to the post, and
Good.
he's there attacking the ball, scoring. And we
Yeah.
see that
So
Gabriel has got most of these goals from
a lot of he did it against Skywalker.
yeah, where he left
When
Skywalker, he
Doku,
left
he told
Skywalker.
Doku, leave this guy for me. I'm going to mark him. Leave
Yeah,
him. What happened? He still scored. Do you
at
get
the
what
end
I'm
of the
saying?
day,
So
yeah,
it's still the same strategy. They drag two people go to the front post,
yes,
pulling people with them, right? You can even see this one where this is a Man City game I pulled up, right? You
mhm,
have Gabriel at the top of the box waiting. That's the spare man. Now they run into this. You see them run into this space quickly. Two people in front. Now everybody is confused. Some people move with those two people that went in front.
yeah,
Now there's now a huge space towards the end, towards the back post area. A huge, most of the time, there's a huge space there.
yeah.
That spare man does the job. But even at that, when they run into that space, there's someone dedicated to stop the keeper from coming out.
Mhm.
From the
Who's
images,
the person usually dedicated?
it can be anybody. The last game was Saliba, but Saliba ended up
It's
scoring.
just there to be an obstacle. It's just there to
Yes.
be
So they
a
use
nuisance.
the key thing is that they don't directly block the keeper.
Mhm.
They don't go and start pushing the keeper. No,
You just stand there.
they use your own defender. They use your defender. They are running to the space.
So
Now
they
they use
run into
yeah, they
your
run directly, and every defender doesn't like to see them cramp the keeper. You see what they did to Onana.
yeah.
it felt like there were like 5 or 6 people around Onana. If
Mhm.
like he was in a cage, he
Yeah,
could
it's
not
like they've
even.
trapped. It's like a trap.
Yes, they
Trapped
kept
him.
him in. Yes, so it's two people intentionally. They use your own defenders,
Mhm.
attract you towards your keeper, then use your own defenders to keep your keeper wrapped up. That there's no space for you to even come out.
I have to comment about how inventive and innovative this strategy is. Is this something
Yeah,
that's always been done by other teams? Because this is like we said, is new, right? Is new,
yeah,
is unique. It's a very interesting way of dealing with corners because you're dealing with trapping the keeper, you're confusing
yeah,
the opposition by overloading a certain part of the box. You have
yeah,
a spare man that even if you hold the spare man, the ball
yeah.
can still go to the back of the box, and there's so many people that could send it back in chaos,
If
right?
you hold
Somebody
the,
else
yeah,
to attack
that's
it,
it. So that's it. So
right?
even
Crazy.
if you hold the spare man, but
Yeah.
sometimes they don't even utilize that spare man.
And
Sometimes you notice Gabriel doesn't
yeah,
start he just
and
stays at the back post or in
exactly.
the
But
middle.
we're not even mentioning one thing though. We're not
What?
mentioning the point where if you attack the spare man, you could cause a foul,
That's a
and it
penalty.
could lead to a penalty,
Gabriel
right?
has gotten a penalty in not
Yes.
not this last game, Man U's game, the game before that. He got a
Yeah,
penalty from the keeper punching him,
yeah. This is exactly
right?
the issue with
So
containing these
you
corners.
see a case where the keeper is punching the spare man because he's about to score.
I mean, what can you do? But let's get into the next reason why Arsenal are set with kings. The
What will
first
be the
reason, the
second
first
reason
reason,
for you?
the first reason we said the strategy is new and unique, and we gave the
Yeah,
reasons why the strategy was new and unique. Let's dive
yeah,
into the second reason. Second reason, man, the way they are scoring goals from set pieces is very, very impressive. Like we just mentioned in the Manchester United game, nothing really separated Arsenal and Manchester United, but
yeah, yeah.
looking at the way they handled corners, that was the decider that made them win that
That's
game.
it. They don't
And
play
if you're
anything
going into
else.
games that are so close together,
Yeah,
so tight, like games against
yeah,
Man City or Liverpool or some of these title contenders, right? What can
yeah,
separate you sometimes might just be you scoring a set piece, right? Scoring from
yeah,
a corner or scoring from a free kick, right? But
yeah,
it's impressive. Look at the numbers. Declan Rice and Saka, 7 assists each, and they are
yeah.
usually they're your usual suspects, sending in the balls, giving almost
Saka on
perfect
the left,
deliveries. You know,
Declan Rice on the right.
yeah,
Constant. They don't
they,
change those guys,
it's
right?
wild.
Except they're not around.
It's wild. Like 22 goals from that's crazy. That's really crazy, and that's been impressive. I wonder who the set piece coach for us now is. I mean,
I think it's Jove or something. His name is kind of weird.
they need
I
to they
don't
need
know
to
if
they need to increase how much they
the
pay him
guy is
because
really good. The guy is
because
really
yeah, especially now that Arsenal is in a
yeah,
position where they don't have that nine, that traditional. I mean, they're relying on Harvard, but
yeah.
everyone has been complaining like, why don't you get that nine that can give you
Traditional
20
nine. Yeah,
goals
yeah.
consistently each season?
But
It
do
almost
they
seems
really
like
need that when
they
you
don't
have it?
really need that now because their defenders are scoring.
I
These
feel
guys
like
are
I feel like
scoring.
I feel like the main thing Arsenal focus on is actually
Mhm.
set piece. They
I feel
just
like that's
want
their
to
main
get.
strategy: get a corner and then
And should I now? The thing is that with this, adding to the second point you just said, right?
yeah,
One of the reasons they score so like they are scoring so many, we're calling them is three reasons why they are set piece kings, right? They
yes,
score so many is the second point, right? And it's
yes.
not just because of that, the accuracy of the guys that take these corners.
The delivery is almost perfect,
Near
almost
perfect.
perfect.
Near perfect. And that's the thing with corners. The delivery has to be on point.
It
You
has to
can
be.
have a strategy, this, that, but if the ball into the box,
It's not good enough. It becomes
there's
a
no
problem.
point. Yeah.
It becomes
So
a problem.
they have
Yeah.
to excel. And you imagine that Declan Rice before he came to Arsenal
Mhm.
never used to take corners.
I mean, it's with more practice, more opportunities.
Now
They
he's
give
taking
you a chance. You know,
close to 90 something corners he's taken since he went to
wow.
Arsenal.
But he's been
Ridiculous.
doing well. Like the delivery from Declan Rice has been good.
Declan Rice
Has
is
been good.
on point.
But it almost
He
feels like most of the time I see them score when Saka delivers. I know, like even Declan Rice
Most
will
of the
score.
corners is from Saka's side because Saka is the main threat. You don't get it. Yeah, on your mind. It's just like when you play Liverpool. Missing on your mind is Liverpool. Is
Yeah,
Salah,
Salah.
right?
Because you're
So
yeah, you're scared.
scared to death. Now, when you are now matching Saka,
Yeah.
you are scared that, oh, there are a lot of things to be scared about.
So many
First of all,
things.
you are scared that you don't want him to bring the ball into the box
You
to
don't want
give
you
it
don't want
to
that
somebody.
cutback.
You don't
You don't
want
want
that
that
cutback
cutback.
because
Yes,
you don't know he might score himself. Second
exactly.
thing
Or
is
you
that
might pass.
you don't want him to be able to pick out someone like Odegaard when he's with the ball.
Yeah.
Thirdly, and the most important thing, you don't want a corner. So at the end of the day, you see defenders ending up get like fouling Saka.
It's
And
better. It's better I foul you. I might as well
so
foul you before
they
you
they,
get a
they
corner.
end up fouling him before he gets to
Yeah.
those dangerous areas. On some of
Because it's
them that are
easier
not
to
so
it's easier
wise,
to stop, right?
they
Easier
foul
to
him
stop
in the
like a free
box.
kick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's just it.
Yeah, but let's dive into the final reason. I mean, we started with the first reason and we said Arsenal's new that's the first reason being Arsenal's strategy is new and unique.
And
The
unique. Yeah,
second
yeah.
reason we said they score most of their goals, at least
A lot of goals.
a
Yeah,
number of goals
yeah,
have come from set pieces to show how this is working. And then
yeah.
the last thing is, well, it's impossible to defend them.
You can't.
It's impossible to stop them. Like we already mentioned, like
Can't.
okay, you want to defend the spare man, you could foul him, it could
Good
be
luck with
an
that.
issue. Even if you stop the spare man, they are overloading so much spaces at the back where
Yeah,
someone
yeah,
can still play, put the ball in play, and it could still
yeah.
be a goal. They attack the central
And the
areas.
thing is that why is so impossible to defend because you don't even know which of the strategies they are going to use.
Exactly.
Sometimes
Exactly.
they I've even seen cases where they even use both at the same time.
And you don't know who is going to score. It's
I
almost
saw
like you
it
don't know who is going to nod.
exactly. I saw it during the Man City game where
Hmm.
we had Saliba and the big boys in the middle. Like
Yeah.
try to utilize that overloading the central area. But at the same time, when they overloaded the central area, which is one of their strategies, we still
Hmm.
had Gabriel coming from the
Yeah.
top of the box,
Hmm.
right? And he didn't just run, he didn't run to the central area, he ran to the back post. So where do you start from? How do you practice? They asked Ruben Amorim, like, he said, anyways, we practiced for corners but he asked the journalist, but how do you stop it?
Exactly. How do you stop it?
How?
That's a very good thing to think
And
about. How do you
Onana
stop it?
even tried.
Hmm.
Onana tried. He didn't do badly. Imagine, as I don't know if Arsenal has played Tottenham yet.
I
I,
don't
I
think
don't think
so.
so,
This
but
season, I don't think so.
they've
We'll
not.
have to check that.
But he's even injured. But their other keeper that is always flapping.
Vicario.
For Ricardo always flapping.
Vicario,
Time
yeah.
for corner is flapping like a turkey.
Mm.
Can't come out and punch, but he can't come out and catch. Those kind of keepers are easy baits for Arsenal. They will
Yeah.
enjoy him.
But is this something that because I saw on social media someone was saying Arsenal like they're behaving like Stoke City. This is not something to be proud of. What do you think? Is this something they should be proud of having a strategy like this for
My
corners?
brother, when you know you have a strength, use
Hmm.
your strength as your weapon. When you play Man City,
Mm.
Man City's strength is to choke you
Yeah.
and keep you from coming out. Use it. When you play Liverpool,
Hmm.
they are waiting for you to turn over that ball in the middle and they use it to straight to Salah. Three passes there in your box 18. They
Hmm.
will use it to hurt you,
Yeah.
right? Every team has their strengths.
Hmm.
It's good. Like I remember Tony Pulis saying it then, saying one day people will, but said the truth. Look at it. Why do you have corners? Corners are meant to be scored.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
A corner is an opportunity to score.
Yes.
So imagine, remember when they played Man City, they hardly
Hmm.
could not come out. The first
Yeah.
time they came out, they had a corner and they scored from it.
Yeah. I mean,
So, so what are you saying?
I feel like in football now, people expect more from a team that is seen as a top team,
Top team.
where like we want you to play and score from open play and all those
But,
things.
but you
So,
remember that Mourinho started the packing the bus.
mm,
He didn't really start it, but his own was extreme. He built a wall of Jericho, packed the bus,
mhm,
packed trailers. You can't even get in. Build a huge
mhm,
fence like this. You
Mm-hmm.
just, it leaves you to be passing in front.
Mm-hmm.
Keep passing in front. If you let anybody you launch into the box, they launch it back. Do you
Mm.
get? I mean, he used it to win titles. Come on.
Yeah.
Till people broke it down and said, "Oh boy, if you park the bus, you are dead." To have players that will play through those times. Yes,
Yeah.
the game
Through
now
tight
has
spaces, yeah.
advanced now. That's why Mourinho is kind of like he's faded out a bit. The game is advanced now in the sense that they are really technical players that can play
Mhm.
through half spaces,
Yeah.
tight, extremely tight spaces.
And players in Man City do it very well. They do it
That's
very,
it.
very
They
well. You
have
don't want to pack. I mean, that's
they
what City
want they
wants,
even
right? They want you
want
to pack the
they
bus.
want you to sit back so
They
that they
want
can
you to do
enjoy
that because
themselves.
they
Yes.
know that they will score.
They'll it's those Guardiola. We're not talking about Guardiola now, but Guardiola will move you side to side. You are
Yes.
parking the bus. That's the first strategy.
Yeah.
He'll first warm you up first, move you
So
side to
Arsenal,
side.
so Arsenal having this identity now
Yeah,
as the corner kings,
yeah.
as if you're getting the corner, there's a high chance you're going
There's
to
a
get
there's
scored.
a there's a 30 to 35% chance that you
How
can
long
score.
do we see this strategy lasting for? Because I still feel like this is something teams might now start figuring out. You know what? Something we need to look for a way to like destabilize the strategy in some sense. So I don't know how
I
long
think
they'll
I
keep
think I
going
think I think
relying on corners.
the key thing is that, like Man U now, the problem Man U had, I watched that
Mm-hmm.
game. Is zonal marking is not good.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to defend Arsenal's corners, if you zonal mark, you have no chance.
Mm.
You have
Can you
no
explain? Can
chance.
you explain zonal marking for those that don't know what zonal
So
marking is?
zonal marking is where you place heavy guys in
Mm-hmm.
different sections of the box. You can place
Okay.
Lindegaard. I'm not using Lindegaard. Saka, different people. Just line them up and say,
Yeah.
player A, this is your zone. Anybody
Yeah.
that comes towards this area, make sure you get it out. Player
Mm-hmm.
B, this is your zone. Any balls that come towards it. But the problem with that is that
Mm-hmm.
there's nobody responsible.
Yeah, because you might think this is not maybe this
This
is
is not my
initially
zone.
not my
And
zone.
now the way an Arsenal takes their corner, it moves from zone to zone. Those in zone A, right, that were in the
Yeah.
front post, the
Mm-hmm.
ball will obviously leave them so they can say, oh, anyways, it's past my zone. But
Yeah.
meanwhile, if they are taking care of the corner from there,
Mm-hmm.
even a slight nudge to the person that is trying to flick it over, that will not
Mm-hmm.
make much difference. But still, it gets to zone B, which is the central area where you have the heavy guys,
Yeah.
or the back post where you could have Gabriel or someone nodding it
Nodding
in,
it straight in or nodding it
right?
back across for someone to play it in.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
so
But
that's
yeah,
the thing. That's why I say zona would not work. So maybe one-on-one marking, but one-on-one is hard because
and
they
it's
they
prone
start
to
with
errors.
they start with chaos first. So how do you pick out your man? I
Mm-hmm.
think the key thing is to prevent them from gathering.
Yeah. Or from
As they
staying
are
really
coming into the box, if you
just
are
stand in
marking,
the position.
yes, if you are marking Havertz, go and hold Havertz.
Mm-hmm.
Prevent them from gathering together. I think that's the key thing teams have to
Yeah.
start doing. Prevent
Mm-hmm.
them from gathering to or gather with them.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Or just
gather,
hope that Saka has a bad day.
I can't have a bad day. Don't hope on that.
But anyways, let's give our final thoughts. What are your final thoughts
I
on
think my
on
final
this?
thought is that it will still come to an end. This corner stuff. Ateta needs
They
to
can't
have a
rely on it. Huh?
plan B. He's
Mm,
extremely good at it, and I think he'll keep using it as a weapon anyway. So
mm,
till people figure it out. But I think soon people would figure it out. Trust me.
Yeah, my final thoughts is I agree 100% that every team should have an identity, and
Yeah,
them being corner kings or scoring from corners, I don't think it's a bad identity to have.
yeah.
But I agree with you 100%. I don't think this is something that they should rely on solely. I still
No,
think Ateta going to the
they need
January
to
transfer
play
market
better. They need to
and
play
get
better.
yourself a better
Yeah,
striker,
yeah,
and someone that can give you 20 goals or more. Get yourself
yeah,
a better striker and still work on scoring from open play, even though they still do it some games. I
yeah.
don't think corners are the only way. But yeah, you guys comment, tell us
Thanks
what
for
you
me.
think about Arsenal being corner kings. I mean, you've seen it, you've seen the reasons, you've
Yeah,
seen how they've been performing with their corners this season. It's
crazy.
impressive. It's
Yeah.
crazy. So tell us what you think, like and subscribe. And thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.